Be still and know that you are God. What does that even mean? What does be still and know that you are God? And let's break it down. Be still, be the stillness, right? It's not about you closing your eyes and waiting for something, because that's you observing yourself closing your eyes and waiting, right? You must realize this, that you are the stillness. It's in the word, it's in the phrase. Be still, be the stillness, be the stillness, be God as the observer, observing all of life happening through you. Everything that moves, thoughts, feelings, people, events, circumstances, the experience of time literally moves within your awareness. You know this, right? You are the space and you are the awareness and you are the experiencing of time. You are the screen in which all of motion happens within you. It can't happen without your awareness. Right? It's kind of like that thing where a tree falls in the forest doesn't make a noise. Well, in your awareness it doesn't, but within your awareness it does as well, because you exist in both places at the same time. So here's another example, right? Imagine you recorded yourself. Okay, you made a recording of yourself. Now you're walking, you're talking, you're living, it doesn't really matter. You can't watch this recording while being in motion yourself. One of you has to be still, right? That's not going to be still, so it might as well be you. Okay? You have to be still to observe your life. And I mean, your physical self manifests as being still, but I'm talking about the stillness that is always present within you. That is the real you, that stillness that is observing, that awareness behind all the screens, all the scenes, all the circumstances, all the beingness. That's who you really are. So when it goes to you and your desired end, what's really going on there? Well, I like the example between you and a friend of yours, right? Your friend has been with you in your house, in your room. You've been with your friend in their house, in their room, say for example. You understand that these are two separate frames of reality. This room that I'm in now doesn't exist in my friend's room, and my friend's room doesn't exist in mine. But what really happens here, right? These ideas where I physically exist in both of these places, even though I am experiencing myself not physically in his house or their house or her house or whomever's house, right now, I understand within my awareness, if I know an idea to be true, if I know an idea and if I'm aware of this idea, it must be true, right? That means I physically exist in this place as this place because my awareness gives rise to the room. The rooms don't exist within each other, but they do coexist because they are superimposed frames, and the way that they connect to each other is through me, is through you, right? So you exist in both frames. And then when you say, no, I am in my friend's house, because you are in your friend's house, and it is your intention to experience yourself physically being there. That's what I am means. It's setting an intention of what you are and what you are deciding to now experience. Okay, that's who you really are. So when you put your awareness of you being in your friend's house or you being in your desired end, reality unfolds frames of reality of itself, of you, because it's you, because you are reality. You are unfolding frames of yourself. That's what you are consciously doing when you say, I am in my friend's house, I am in Barbados, I am in my end, I am who I say I am. You are creating an experience of linear frames that all coexist for you to transverse the experience of all of these frames to experience what it is you want to experience. But here's the thing. The frame of reality that you are calling forth as an existing frame, for example, I am in my friend's house, it's meaningless without the other frames. It's meaningless without you not being in there, transversing time and space as an experience and ending up in your friend's house somewhere, right? Because it doesn't mean anything. The frame is just there where you exist in it. It has no context, right? Part of being God is to realize all of context exists within you as well, not just the frame of reality that you're experiencing. Okay? So you transverse reality as context because you require context for the frame to exist. That's why you actually want to experience the frame. The experiencing of the frame is for the context. It's not just to have the pair of shoes in your hand and saying, cool, I have the shoes now what? That's why we're here to experience not only the frame of reality, but the context in which the context itself exists in, not necessarily the frame. The frame doesn't have a context. You give it context. You are calling forth context within yourself. An idea, a story, however you want to phrase it. Remember, you're calling forth context. You don't earn your dream life, right? You choose to observe it. You're tuning into a recording of one of your infinite selves. And people say, but I can't be that version of me. I'm sitting here in this chair, broke, I'm tired, I'm arguing with my family, right? That's just one frame of the movie. And here's the thing, that frame exists in every single movie, whether you are with a specific person, whether you're going on holiday, whether you are winning awards, whether you are doing whatever. That frame where you are arguing with your family literally exists in infinite number of ways to connect you with infinite number of realities that you exist, because that point where you are experiencing that is a 0 point where all things they coexist alongside with it, because you can get to anywhere. You're not held back from any single point of reality to get to any other point of reality. Why? Because all of the connecting frames that exist to anywhere simply just exist. That's it. Because existence is infinite, right? Oh, here's doing funny things. Yeah. So you are allowed to imagine yourself on stage, doing whatever, right? Holding your partner's hand at a premiere, signing deals, living in joy, whatever it is, right? Those frames just exist. The dream relationship, your dream career, your dream posters or campaigns of yourself, the applause, the sunrise moment with the person that you love, they already all exist within you, and you are basically just calling forth those frames of reality for your experiencing. Remember, I know it seems a bit backward here, but the frame of reality where you are sitting on the beach watching a sunrise with your specific person is meaningless. You are calling it forth with a meaning. Like, I am this person that is experiencing love so wonderful, and this is the representation of that reality. That's what you're doing, right? You are consciousness that has come to experience the realness of that which you are by observing it. Without you, none of it can exist. Like the frame of reality where you're watching the sunrise can't exist without you. They are just separated frames of reality that doesn't experience itself existing without your consciously calling it forth experience of reality. Now, you don't need to struggle. You don't need to do anything. It's not necessarily something that you obviously need to struggle for or you need to work for this dream. There will be an unfolding where you experience working. Sometimes you want to do something that's difficult. Win a race, there'll be training involved. Surely that's hard, but it's part of the required part of the identity that wants to do something. I know a lot of people say, like, no, you can just run a 60K marathon if you just assume that you can. But maybe you can. Yeah, I'm sure that exists, but you do unfold logically as well for your own experiencing of it. Okay, you don't have to like say I assume I can fly and then jump off something, right? You're gonna get hurt because you also understand that. So the question doesn't stay in this way. The question is no longer how do I be this version of myself. It's more, what version of myself do I wish to unfold right now, with the assumption that that version of myself is complete. What version of yourself do you wish to unfold right now, because that version of you is absolutely and utterly complete. That's what it means. Be still and know that you are only the observer of the infinite versions of you that simply just exist. Choose the address, right? If it is your friend's house that you want to be in, cool, right? Know that you are God. Know that these frames of reality exist within you, and that it is done. That's literally what be still and know that you are God means. Well, one of the meanings. It's an infinite blank phrase that you can give any meaning to, but that is the meaning that I am giving it through me for you in this moment. Hope you enjoyed it.